Alexa, what's on the calendar today?
You have 12 events scheduled.
Amazon's electronic personal assistant, Echo, a hot ticket item this holiday season, caught in the middle of, you ready for this? A murder investigation. Now, this is taking place in Arkansas. The police there issued Amazon a warrant trying to obtain information from the cloud, because data is stored in the cloud, from the Echo device that belonged to James Bates. Now, he is charged with killing his friend last year. My legal panel joins me now for a fair and balanced debate. Attorneys Emily Campagno and Bill Frumpkin. And Emily, let me start with you. At the end of the day, this could either convict or exonerate if there's something recorded on this device, which apparently listens all the time, but isn't always recording. Isn't that a problem? Because listening is different than recording.
Listening is different than recording, yes. And I'd like to step back for a minute and point out this, that there's kind of a building uproar right now with people panicking over this collection of data all the time, they're saying, and now the police, they are alleging, are kind of running unfettered, and all of a sudden our privacy will be invaded by all of this data being collected and used ultimately, potentially, in investigations against them. But the issue here is that initial issue of consent. So there are safeguards constitutionally in place right now via the Fourth Amendment that protect us against those kind of bald and blank warrants, right? They're these general searches. They have to issue with particularity. So my point is, just by using it, it doesn't mean that all of this data should be then accumulated. Of course the cops are going to try to get anything available. It's the issue of consent that initially occurs.
Well, whose consent, though? Because Amazon provided a statement to us, and they said, quote, Amazon will not release customer information without a valid and binding legal demand properly served on us. Amazon objects to overbroad or otherwise inappropriate demands as a matter of course. It would seem to me, Bill, that a rational human being, if you have a murder and you have a device in the vicinity of this murder that records everything that's going on, that yes, you would want to listen to that device. What's wrong with that?
A lot, okay? Basically, it's called the Fourth Amendment, okay? We have protections in this country from unlawful search and seizure, and you have to have a reasonable basis in order to go after something.
I've got a dead body in a hot tub, and I've got a device that records everything that goes on, potentially might have listened to something.
But you have to convince a judge, okay, not that it could be, but it's virtually is a likely possibility that it is. So you don't go rummaging through, because the company that created the software for this to occur essentially is saying that we know our product and you're not going to find anything.
Right, because it doesn't, the key here is it doesn't record all the time.
That's correct.
You have to wake the device up.
That's correct. And if it retained all of the information, you know, there's no way that it could, so it's all been deleted.
And it's not the Echo device anyway. It's your Samsung TV. Don't you remember that a year ago? We all got into a Twitter over that. Okay, let me move on, Emily. I'm going to let you go first on this one. A restaurant in Hawaii caused an outrage. They posted a sign on the door. It read, if you voted for Trump, you cannot eat here. No Nazis. There's so much wrong with this, whether you are opposed to Donald Trump or not. It's just so wrong. But is it illegal, Emily?
Technically, no. And this is an example of where abhorrent behavior and poor business practice isn't technically illegal, because a Trump voter, this is not a protected class. Now, it's not necessarily a justifiable refusable of service, but that only comes into play when it's a class you're dealing with that is protected. So here, however, it is absolutely abhorrent, and I do not condone this at all. But unfortunately, there's not really a cause of action federally these patrons can take.
Bill, could a customer sue?
It is absolutely not illegal. Emily is right, and we agree on that. The issue is that it is not a protected class. I mean, it might not be the greatest business on earth, you know, because you want people and you want them to walk into your restaurant. However, there really is no suit, and it's one of these situations.
I don't know. I like the business model that says we don't give a darn about our customers. Don't come in here and don't eat here and don't spend your money. That'll work well, won't it?
That may be, but also they could be subject to picketing. They could all be all other kinds of things. But you can't basically, that person cannot say, I want to sue you for not letting me in.
I think it just violates common decency and sensibility, and I get the last word for a change. Emily Campagno, thank you. Bill Frumpkin, thank you for joining us.